Good morning and welcome to Sunnyside News, where we bring you only the most positive and interesting information from the heart of Florida right here in Polk County. Sunnyside News is sponsored by Nature's Place, home of the Key Network and Speech Therapy Services. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2016. I would like to welcome everyone to today's program. I wanted to move right into our good news pieces that we discovered here this week. And the first one I want to talk about is about Mattel, the toy giant. They have finally responded to public suggestions and demand. Now, Mattel, as many of you probably know, is the manufacturer of the famous Barbie doll. And it has been argued and debated for decades about the unrealistic and distorted body shape that Barbie promotes. Well, Mattel is now offering dolls in tall, petite, and curvy. This could also be a response to the fact that there are other doll makers out there who are embracing not only different body types of women, but also culturally diverse women. So thank goodness the market is finally responding to realism. Another good news item I would like to share with you today is about human kindness and also ingenuity. They both strike again. Last week, during the massive blizzards that struck the eastern United States, a tractor trailer traveling along the Pennsylvania Turnpike lost control, swerved across 2 lanes of traffic, and went careening down a hill. Well, the other vehicles who witnessed the accident, who were total strangers, got out to help the dazed driver by forming a human chain and going over the hillside to retrieve the driver despite all the debris and gallons of fuel that were spewed all around. That is an amazing, heartwarming story. Another story I would like to tell you about comes from Hollywood, and you know how glitzy and glamorous Hollywood is. Well, this one I want to tell you about is George Clooney and his wife Amal. A month ago, they surprised his parents with more than just a Christmas present. The Hollywood mogul learned about Nate, a terrier who was born with physical deformities. Now, Nate had several surgeries already to try and make some corrections through the Love for Mutts pet shelter in Ohio, but still no one wanted to adopt him. Well, Clooney stepped forward and adopted Nate, whom he presented to his parents, who had recently lost one of their own terriers. His mother began to cry when she first held Nate. Now, this comes off of the heels of Clooney himself rescuing a dog he found outside of a restaurant 3 months ago that was begging for food. So I must say, hats off to you, George Clooney. Another story I would like to tell you about is about Marie Grandmar, who lives in Sweden, and she has a most unique way to heat her home. She actually built a greenhouse around her entire home. So even when the temperature outside dips into the negatives, her home stays around 60 degrees. Now, this house is called a nature house, but this is not the first one to have been built in such a way. The first was actually built in 1974. But I think that is an ingenious way to keep your house warm during the cold winter season. And in Sweden, I'm sure it gets very, very cold. So I would like to share with you the photo for this week. Please take a look, think about what you feel it might be, and go to our Facebook page on Monday to see what it is. The word of the day that I would like to share with you is an interesting word. That word is skookum, and that word means excellent or first rate. So if you want to give a friend of yours a compliment, you can use the word skookum. I would like to call to your attention now the events going on here in the heart of Florida this weekend. On February 5th and 6th, the Lake Wales Mardi Gras will be happening. There will be parades, they will have exotic costumes and music, there'll be food and a whole lot more. This happens from 3 p.m. starting on February 5th, and this is a free event. Another event I would like to tell you about also on February 5th is about Harmony Grits. They will be playing in the Winter Haven Central Park area. This will be a free concert. It will be from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can find out more information by calling 863-291-5656. Also going on this weekend, February 5th as well, is the Revolution Film Festival at the Southeastern University, where it features young and new filmmakers and the various works that they have come up with. This will be at 7:30. You can get further information by calling 863-667-5657. As usual, I would like to leave you this week with a quote for you to think about, and that goes, "We are not interested in the possibilities of defeat. They do not exist." And that was said back in the day by Queen Victoria. So that is our program for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Please join me again next Friday when we will bring you more good news from right here in the heart of Florida. Thanks so much. Bye for now.